If you truly want your marriage to become stronger, then there is one more thing you must learn: stop expecting your spouse to love you exactly the way you love them. Because sometimes the problem is not that your spouse doesn't love you. The problem is that they show love differently. Maybe you want romantic words, but your spouse shows love through actions. Maybe you want gifts, but your spouse gives you their time. Maybe you want constant attention, but your spouse works hard to provide for the family. Love doesn't always look the way we imagine. So instead of asking, "Why doesn't my spouse love me like that person loves their partner?" ask, "How is my spouse showing love that I may have stopped noticing?" That question can completely change your perspective. And remember, your spouse is not your enemy. You are on the same team. When problems come, don't fight against each other. Fight the problem together. If money is difficult, make a plan together. If communication is weak, start talking again. If you have become distant, make time for each other. If trust has been damaged, work patiently toward rebuilding it. Don't allow one difficult season to make you forget all the good seasons you have shared. And don't let pride stop you from saying, "I'm sorry." Sometimes one sincere apology can open a door that anger kept closed for months. You don't always have to prove that you were right. Sometimes you need to protect the relationship more than you need to win the argument. So tonight, before you sleep, think about your spouse. Think about one sacrifice they have made for you. Think about one difficult moment when they stood beside you. Think about one quality you still admire in them. And thank them. Because appreciation can bring back feelings that routine has buried. Your marriage doesn't need to look like anyone else's. Your love story is different. Your journey is different. Stop looking at someone else's life and wishing yours were different. Start building the life you already have. And if this message touched your heart, remember this. Don't search for a perfect spouse. Become a better spouse. Don't search for a perfect marriage. Build a healthier one. Don't compare. Communicate. Don't criticize. Appreciate. Don't run away from every difficult season. Learn how to walk through it together. And above all, protect the person who chose you. Because one day, you may realize that the person you were taking for granted was actually one of the greatest blessings in your life. So choose your spouse again. Choose patience. Choose forgiveness. Choose respect. Choose faithfulness. Choose love. And let God guide your marriage. If you want more messages like this, subscribe to the channel, because sometimes one message at the right time can change the way you see the person you love. Sometimes, the biggest change in a marriage begins when you stop asking, "What is wrong with my spouse?" and start asking, "What can I do differently?" Because love is not about waiting for the other person to change first. Sometimes you have to take the first step. Maybe your spouse has become distant. Instead of becoming distant too, try reaching out. Maybe they don't talk much anymore. Instead of giving up, ask them gently, "What is going on in your heart?" Maybe you have both become busy. Then make time for each other again. It doesn't have to be expensive. You don't need a fancy restaurant. You don't need a vacation. Sometimes all you need is 20 minutes together without phones, without television, and without distractions. Sit together. Talk. Laugh. Remember the good times. Ask each other about your dreams. Ask what you can do better. Ask what makes each other feel loved. These simple conversations can rebuild a connection that slowly disappeared through everyday life. And remember something very important. Never use your spouse's weaknesses as a weapon. If they trust you enough to tell you about their fears, don't use those fears against them later. If they share something personal, protect it. If they make a mistake and genuinely want to change, give them room to grow. A marriage should be a safe place, not a courtroom where every mistake is remembered forever. Of course, forgiveness doesn't mean ignoring serious problems. If something is hurting your marriage, talk about it honestly. If you need help, seek wise counseling. But don't let anger become your permanent attitude. Because resentment grows when we keep replaying the same pain in our minds. Sometimes you have to decide. I will learn from what happened, but I will not allow yesterday to destroy today. Your spouse needs grace. And you need grace too. Neither of you will get everything right. There will be misunderstandings. There will be bad days. There will be moments when emotions become strong. But what matters is what you do afterward. Can you come back and say, let's talk? Can you say, I'm sorry? Can you say, I still love you, and I want us to work through this? Those words can change everything. And never forget to appreciate the small things. A cup of tea. A meal. A ride home. A phone call. A hug. A simple, how are you? These may seem small, but a marriage is built from small moments. So don't wait for a huge romantic moment to show love. Show it today. And if you are watching this and your marriage is going through a difficult season, don't lose hope. A difficult season does not always mean the story is over. Sometimes it means both people need to slow down, listen, forgive, and begin again. Your marriage doesn't need to become someone else's marriage. It needs to become a stronger version of your own. So stop comparing. Stop keeping score. Stop asking who is doing more. Start asking how you can. What if comparing your spouse to someone else is slowly destroying the happiness you already have? Think about it. You open social media and see a couple smiling, traveling, giving gifts, and looking completely happy. Then you look at your own marriage and think, why isn't my husband like that, or why isn't my wife like her? But remember this, you are comparing your real marriage to someone else's highlight moments. You see their smiles, but you don't see their struggles. You see their vacation, but you don't see their problems. You see one beautiful picture, but you don't know the story behind it. Every marriage has difficulties. Every husband has weaknesses. Every wife has weaknesses. Nobody is perfect. Maybe your spouse doesn't express love the way you expect. But that doesn't mean they don't love you. Maybe your husband doesn't buy expensive gifts, but he works hard for your family. Maybe your wife doesn't always say romantic words, but she takes care of your home and stands beside you when life gets difficult. Sometimes we stop noticing the things our spouse does because we become used to them. So today, instead of asking, why isn't my spouse like someone else, ask yourself, what is my spouse already doing that I have stopped appreciating? Say thank you. Say, I appreciate you. Say, I'm grateful that you're in my life. Small words can bring a big change to a marriage. And if there are real problems, don't compare. Communicate. Don't say, why can't you be like him? Say, I want us to become closer. Don't attack your spouse. Tell them what you need. Marriage is not about winning arguments. It is about protecting the relationship. And be careful with emotional connections outside your marriage. Sometimes an affair begins with something very small, a message, a compliment, or a secret conversation. Protect your heart. Protect your marriage. Don't allow someone else's attention to make you forget the person who has been standing beside you. Your spouse doesn't need to compete with the entire world. They need to know that they are loved, respected, and appreciated. So stop comparing your marriage to someone else's. Stop comparing your spouse to another person. Start appreciating what you have. Start communicating. Start listening. Start praying. And start choosing each other again. Because sometimes the blessing you are searching for isn't somewhere else. Sometimes it is already sitting beside you. Your marriage doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs two people who are willing to grow, forgive, communicate, and keep choosing each other. So today, put your phone down, look at your spouse, and say one simple thing. I appreciate you. Thank you for being in my life. That one sentence could be the beginning of something beautiful. No more comparison. Choose gratitude. Choose faithfulness. Choose love. And choose your marriage. There comes a moment in every marriage when you have to stop and ask yourself one honest question. What kind of partner do I want to be? Do I want to be the person who constantly points out what is wrong? Or do I want to be the person who helps create what is missing? Because complaining about your spouse is easy. But building a better relationship takes courage, patience, and effort. It is easy to say, you never listen to me. But it is harder to say, how can we understand each other better? It is easy to say, you don't care about me. But it is better to say, I miss feeling close to you. And it is easy to compare your spouse with someone else. But real love chooses to understand the person who is already beside you. If you want more affection, give affection. If you want respect, show respect. If you want appreciation, start appreciating. Sometimes the change you are waiting for in your marriage begins with you. Maybe your spouse has also been waiting for you to take the first step. So take it. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Send a kind message. Give them a hug. Say thank you. Ask them how their day was. Sit together without your phones. Talk for a few minutes. These things may seem small, but a marriage is built from small moments. One kind word today can become a beautiful memory tomorrow. And remember, your spouse may be fighting a battle you know nothing about. Maybe they are tired. Maybe they are worried about money. Maybe they are stressed about work. Maybe they are worried about the children. Maybe they feel like they are not doing enough. And maybe they don't know how to explain what they are feeling. So before you criticize, ask. Before you judge, listen. Before you compare, understand. You may discover that the person you thought was ignoring you was actually struggling themselves. This doesn't mean you should ignore your own feelings. Your feelings matter too. If something is hurting you, talk about it. But talk with love. Instead of saying, you are never there for me, say, I miss you. Instead of saying, you don't care about me, say, I need more time with you. Instead of saying, why can't you be like them, say, I want us to become better together. Your words can either build a bridge or build a wall. Choose your words carefully. And if walls have already been built between you, don't think it is impossible to take them down. Maybe trust has been damaged. Maybe communication has become weak. Maybe you have both stopped showing affection. Maybe you have become more like roommates than husband and wife. But remember, distance does not always mean the story is over. Sometimes it means both people need to come back to each other. It may take time. Trust may take time. Healing may take time. But progress is still progress. One conversation at a time. One apology at a time. One act of kindness at a time. And don't forget to pray for your marriage. Don't pray only when everything is falling apart. Pray when things are good. Pray when things are difficult. Pray for wisdom. Pray for patience. Pray for forgiveness. Pray for your spouse. And also pray for yourself. Ask God to help you become the kind of husband or wife you are asking your spouse to become. Because sometimes we ask God to change someone else while forgetting to ask Him to change us. Maybe today is the day you stop waiting for your spouse to make the first move. Maybe today you decide to make it. Maybe you walk into the room and say, I know we haven't been perfect, but I don't want to give up on us. Those words could change the atmosphere in your home. Maybe your spouse won't respond perfectly. That's okay. You are not responsible for controlling their reaction. You are responsible for your own heart, your own words, and your own choices. So do what is right. Love when it is difficult. Forgive when it is hard. Listen when you would rather argue. Stay patient when emotions are high. And remember why you chose each other in the first place. Think back to the beginning. Remember the first conversations. Remember the laughter. Remember the dreams you shared. Remember the moments when you were there for each other. Life may have become busy. Responsibilities may have increased. But the person you married is still there. Maybe they are simply tired. Maybe they need to feel loved again. And maybe you do too. So don't compare your marriage with another couple. You don't know their entire story. You only see what they show you. You may be comparing your hardest days with someone else's best moments. That's not fair to you. And it's not fair to your spouse. Your marriage has its own story. Build it. Protect it. Work on it. And if there are genuine problems, don't hide them. Talk about them. Seek wise help when needed. But don't destroy something valuable because someone else's life looks better from the outside. You don't need someone else's marriage. You need to strengthen your own. You don't need another husband. You don't need another wife. You need to learn how to love the person beside you more deeply. And if you want your spouse to become better, don't constantly remind them of their weaknesses. Remind them of their value. Encourage them. Support them. Tell them when they are doing something right. Because people often become better when they feel loved, not when they constantly feel judged. Your spouse should not feel like they are competing against the entire world. They should feel safe with you. They should feel respected by you. They should know that even when life becomes difficult, you are still willing to stand beside them. That is commitment. And commitment is more than a wedding promise. It is a daily decision. Every morning, you choose how you will speak. Every day, you choose what you will focus on. Every difficult moment, you choose whether you will attack or understand. Every temptation, you choose whether you will protect your marriage. Every disagreement, you choose whether you will build or destroy. So choose wisely. Choose patience. Choose kindness. Choose forgiveness. Choose faithfulness. Choose communication. Choose your spouse. And if you have made mistakes, don't let shame keep you from changing. You can apologize. You can learn. You can become better. You can start again. The past cannot be changed. But the next conversation can be different. The next decision can be different. The next day can be different. So don't wait for tomorrow. Start today. Look at your spouse. And instead of seeing everything they are not, remember everything they are. Remember the person who stood beside you. Remember the person who shared your difficult days. Remember the person who laughed with you. Remember the person who chose you. And tell them, I appreciate you. I am thankful for you. I don't want to compare you with anyone. I want us to become better together. Sometimes one honest conversation can begin healing years of distance. So stop comparing. Start appreciating. Stop criticizing. Start understanding. Stop keeping score. Start working together. And most importantly, stop looking for perfection. Because a strong marriage is not built by two perfect people. It is built by two imperfect people who refuse to stop growing. Two people who make mistakes but apologize. Two people who get tired but keep trying. Two people who disagree but still respect each other. Two people who face problems but don't immediately run away. Two people who keep choosing love. So if your marriage is going through a difficult season right now, don't lose hope. This chapter does not have to be the end. It can be the beginning of something better. One conversation can begin it. One apology can begin it. One prayer can begin it. One decision to stop comparing can begin it. Your marriage may not look like someone else's. And that's okay. It doesn't need to. Your story is yours. Your journey is yours. Your love is yours. So protect it. Appreciate it. Nurture it. And never forget the person who chose to walk through life with you. Because sometimes we spend so much time looking at what other people have, that we forget to thank God for what is already in our hands. So today, stop looking elsewhere. Look beside you. Look at your spouse. And choose them again. Choose love. Choose patience. Choose forgiveness. Choose faithfulness. Choose your marriage. And if you believe in God, put your marriage in His hands and continue doing your part with love and wisdom. Because your marriage doesn't have to be perfect to be beautiful. It simply needs two hearts that are willing to grow together. Thank you for watching. If this message touched your heart, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And subscribe for more messages about love, marriage, faith, and relationships. May God bless you, your spouse, and your family. And always remember, don't compare your marriage. Build it. Don't take your spouse for granted. Appreciate them. And don't give up on something that is still worth fighting for. Start today.